Hi everyone, I just wanted to talk a little bit about care ethics since that's the second discussion that we are attacking this week. Care ethics is a fairly new theory that began in the 80s with Carol Gilligan's A Different Voice. Now this was a time when feminist ethics and feminist ideals were coming to the forefront as a result of some of the foundations and groundwork on feminist theory that was laid in the earlier part of the 20th century. So care ethics posits the idea that men and women think differently and therefore respond differently when it comes to ethical issues. For example, a woman might feel more compassionate than looking for justice or rationale as a man might do. The important thing to think about in relation to this theory is that because this is a philosophy class, we need to question the idea. Are there actually differences in the ways that men and women think about ethics? Does this mean that men cannot make a decision from compassion and women cannot make a rational or a choice-based injustice? Those are some of the issues that come up when looking at Gilligan. Now, there have been a lot of research studies done on differences between men and women's brains and how they react in different circumstances. And I think that's important to look at, and I will post some links to those studies for you to review because it gives you a different look. Now, while there may be differences in brain structures between men and women, that doesn't necessarily mean that gender ethics can be fully supported, but what it does mean is that men and women may react differently. However, I would suggest that men can act compassionately and that women can use reason. Now, one of the main criticisms of Gilligan's theory was that it perpetuated stereotypes. It made women look as if they were emotional and only making choices from an emotional standpoint, whereas it made men look like they were using reason, and that wasn't something that women would do. Now, this was a main point of focus for feminist theorists in that they felt that by just deeming women emotional and not having the ability for them to use reason, this was going to create problems as far as whether or not women's ideas were accepted. So that's just a little bit of history on feminist issues and Carol Gilligan's ethical theory. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.